and welcome to Northside Now, the podcast where your lovable hosts take you on a tour through all of the ministries and the latest happenings around Northside Church to keep you better connected with your church family. I'm one of your hosts, Patrick, and with me as always is my co-host, the illustrious and bit eccentric Glenn Miller. How's it going, Glenn?
Well, I'm good. What happened to our man of mystery?
I don't know. I mean, for those of you listening, Kevin's gone this week.
He's so mysterious.
Yeah.
He's off.
Should we let him in on the mystery?
Oh, we talked about it last episode.
I
hope you were listening to that last episode when we were talking with Mitzi, and we did let him in on the big concert news.
Yeah, Kevin's a rock star.
Yeah, so. Rock star.
Can you call an a cappella singer a rock star, I guess?
Ooh.
I don't know.
Well, I tell you what, I've got my tickets finally, though. I did get some tickets.
Nice.
Woo-hoo.
Okay, so we can go together and support.
That's it. So we'll be gathered again tomorrow night at the Ned to watch Kevin and the Jukes in their big concert.
Unfortunately, by the time you're listening to this, that will have already happened. So
that's true. Yeah. Well,
so
we will let you know.
We'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah, and in case you didn't know how podcasts work, we record them and then on one day and then release them a few days later so that we can get them edited and things like that. So this is not live.
No, unfortunately.
And it's not Milli Vanilli, but so it is recorded ahead of time. But I imagine most everybody knows that.
Yeah, probably. I would imagine at this point.
Do you know someone who I want to get someone who's never, I wonder if my dad knows what a podcast is.
I don't know. I'm sure we could find somebody out there that doesn't know what a podcast is, but
and let them listen to see what they think it's like real radio.
Maybe
that'd be kind of fun.
We could play games and do giveaways and.
Well, we're glad you're listening. Thanks for dropping by today. No matter because you may be listening to this down the road somewhere. So
that's true.
Glad you're paying attention today.
Well, what's been going on with you this week, Glenn?
Well. You know, when we started this podcast, there was a little thing I did called, down the rabbit hole on YouTube.
That's true, yeah.
But I've done something even worse.
Uh-oh, what'd you do?
I downloaded TikTok on my phone.
Oh, what'd you do that for?
I guess sleeping was not needed in my life. I don't know. But I have been up now 2 nights in a row, very late, looking at things like a little toddler girl and just cracking up by the way she says chicken because she says it's so cute. And it's just unbelievable. It's amazing to me what people video in their lives.
Oh, it's hilarious.
It takes a lot of effort. I mean, there's a lot of people that are playing Spielberg out there.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, and they're getting like millions of hits and doing songs and singing things. And
yeah, most of the stuff that comes across my feed is like Star Wars related or Dungeons and Dragons. Or
it's still just crazy though.
Yeah,
I mean, there is no, I mean, I've not seen anything horrible on there. I know that exists, but it hadn't bounced through my feed. But
now recently I've gotten sucked into Christian TikTok. I don't know if you've been on Christian TikTok yet.
Is there is that like an app?
Well, no, it's TikTok, but there's like a Christian side. There's a bunch of Christian content creators, and
I've got to find that.
It's pretty funny. I'll let you look at some.
Oh my goodness. I can only imagine some of these things. I mean, some of them are pretty funny. And I have another one I've kind of, not one, but just a genre of these moms and dads that are trying to embarrass their kids.
Yeah.
Oh, those are some great ones.
Now, I do follow this one guy on TikTok that he does a podcast and he has like a YouTube channel and it's him and his daughter. And his daughter can't be more than 2 years old. And just him playing off of her. And just
does he look a little bit like Shirley Temple?
Yeah, kind of curly hair. Have you seen this guy?
She's one of the ones that's kept me up at night. She's hilarious.
She is hilarious.
And they did a thing not long ago because evidently people kind of started to demonize them a little bit. And he did this kind of disclaimer. It says, she's not an actress. She's not. This is just her.
I was fixing to say, she's not even 2. She doesn't understand. Or she may be 2. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean.
But because of those videos, I've added steez into my vocabulary.
Steez?
Steez. Man, that's steezy.
Well,
this is how I keep up with the young kids these days.
She's hilarious.
Hello, fellow kids.
She really is. She's good stuff. She makes me happy.
For sure.
So, yeah. So TikTok, man, it is.
Enter at your own risk.
You really need to. You really need to. it's just wild out there. I think that's what kind of catches me, of just how many people are out there videoing their lives. And I mean, stuff like that with your kids. I mean, I would have loved to have had, with Celeste or Summer, to have had video like that. I mean, and I know a lot of this starts off with just trying to keep up with family. Like that little girl you're talking about. The dad said, this just started off with us trying to keep family informed, because we live away from them and what she's doing in her, in her life and how she's growing. And so just a family information that it's kind of turned into. I'm sure they're getting paid somehow. I mean, I don't know.
Once you get a certain number of viewers, like hit a number of views or likes, they start paying you. So it's just like YouTube or any of those others. You have to hit a certain threshold, and then they'll start paying you. So that's how like YouTube is a viable career option these days.
It is, I guess. I don't know. One thing I have noticed, another thing is, and you being a band guy, a lot of people singing and stuff releasing, because you just do like a minute or two clip.
Oh yeah, it's a minute time length, 60 seconds. So, and that's the other problem with it, because each one's a minute. You can kind of swipe through them pretty quick, and there's always something new, and you pull down on it, and it always refreshes to something new, and it hits that same like dopamine center in your brain that like pulling a slot machine does. Yeah. It's like the same psychology.
Well, it's some of the best comedy you can find.
Oh yeah,
but it's another thing, music. I've actually discovered 2 or 3 young rising country stars, or I don't know if they'll make it to stardom, but they have not been. One guy had been on the radio, and he had been on on XM, where they have like the brand new hits that aren't even on regular radio yet.
Yeah.
And he's the only one I discovered that was on the radio. But the rest of these guys, they're pretty good. I mean, they're pretty solid. And
I see quite a bit of music on mine as well, and that's how honestly I'm keeping up with new music these days. Because well, they say once you hit your 30s, you stop listening to new music, or at least for the most part, and you tend to just stick with the same bands that you've been listening to. And there's some truth to that. So I've been trying to, like, now that I'm in my 30s, I'm trying to not necessarily do that and stay up to date with what's happening in the music scene.
Well, this morning specifically is, perfect example. I had running around my head just this morning, just getting ready. Major Moves by Hank Williams Jr. on, I believe, the Man of Steel. Maybe it was the Major Moves record in 1988. It's not even like one of the main songs on that record, but that was just on. So I Spotified it and listened to that while I was brushing my teeth this morning. So
all right,
you just that wasn't that's old, but that's one of the reasons I love Spotify and some of the things that you can look up, Apple Music and stuff. You can get full albums and listen to an entire album.
The convenience.
So
I remember the days of LimeWire and Napster.
Yeah, totally.
You didn't know exactly what you were downloading.
Yep. Oh, and it'd take forever.
And then you'd end up getting a virus, or it would be a totally different song, and you never knew exactly what the song was called because they mislabeled the file. Yeah, good times. Well,
so once again, technology has changed the way we do things, and
it's just
interact.
It's how we use it.
So, but I'm looking forward to getting to go listen to Kevin and the Jukes.
Oh yeah, I found the old
because live music is back for the most part. It's starting to inch back, and getting out into groups and stuff like that is starting to be a thing again. So I'm looking forward to this.
I found an old CD of theirs from the 90s.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and so I think I'm going to take it and get them to sign it.
Oh, hey, we had one. I think we've got one here in the youth area.
Oh yeah,
we did it one time. I need to look and see.
Should take a good idea. To sign it.
Yeah. So, and I know all of them too.
Oh yeah.
And the fun thing is, even Boz, their new guy, I knew it because he's a youth pastor, so I knew him long before he. In fact, when I saw a picture, I was like, "When did Boz join the Jews?
Like, what's Boz doing there?"
Exactly. What's he? Honestly, I didn't even know he could sing.
Yeah. I've heard him sing.
He's good.
I've done some recording for him before, and they're he's pretty good.
I was like, Who knew? Who knew? So welcome back to live music, and
it's exciting.
And if you fall down the TikTok rabbit hole, make sure you don't do it at bedtime.
Yeah, or you'll be up all night.
You'll be up all night. Well, we visited with Mitzi last episode, and youth musical, our youth production, got something going on for late summer, early fall. Not our normal June time frame, because normally this feels very weird to me.
I know.
And I'm sure it does you too right now.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
To be in May or about to be in May. I guess we are in May now.
We're in May now, yeah. As of the listening of this.
I know. And normally the whole church is buzzing at this time.
100%. Yeah.
Because of the musical and Mother's Day. Confirmation.
Yeah.
Have been, we did that earlier.
We did that early, yeah.
And so it just feels weird.
Yeah.
Kids are about to be out of school. We do have graduation Sunday coming up.
We do. We actually have quite a few things coming up.
Well, that's good. We're starting to get more and more happening here at the church as well.
Not only live music is opening back up, but we're opening back up too.
Yeah.
Starting to do things again.
So,
speaking of the musical, one of the things that we do have coming up is that, by the time you're listening to this, we will have had tryouts for the musical on
Sunday the 2nd.
The 2nd, yeah. But we're still accepting video submissions until the 9th, until Mother's Day. So if you're listening to this and you missed the tryouts and you want to try out for the youth musical or youth offering this year, then you can send in a video submission.
Yep, to Northside Students 731@gmail.com.
Also, speaking of Mother's Day, we're actually going to have kids singing in church again.
Yes,
and
live music.
Yeah,
we're all about some live music today.
And they may actually be able to hand stuff out to the moms again this year.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Early on in it wasn't that early, but in youth ministry, way back today at one of the churches I was at, you always helped. It was a little bit smaller church, so you always helped up with the services every Sunday. And our pastor there at the time loved to go out on the highways and different stuff and pick Texas wildflowers, not bluebonnets, that was illegal, but Texas wildflowers to give to all the moms, all the women in the church every Sunday morning or on Mother's Day.
Wait, it's illegal to pick
bluebonnets?
Bluebonnets,
really? State flower. Can't do that.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a state flower, but it's a weed too.
Sorry, I digress.
No, it's really a weird story. But so Mother's Day on a Sunday was something for several years I kind of dreaded because we would pass these out. And he and I would do it and to the kids and stuff. And I would always just stand over this bucket of very fragrant wildflowers that had just been picked that morning. And I the amount of drugs I had to take to make it through Mother's Day.
You're constantly sneezing.
Oh, it was horrible. It was horrible. Had that happened during COVID, I mean, I guarantee you someone would have thrown me in an ICU. It was bad. So I'll never forget that at Wesley United Methodist Church in Sulphur Springs, Texas, getting so stopped up on Mother's Day. It was fun. It was something great, but it just, what in the world? So yeah, Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to everybody.
Yeah. Make sure you call your moms.
Do. Mother's Day is also a lot of graduation time frames too. So
yeah.
A lot of college grads and.
Which we've actually got our graduation Sunday
on the
next
16th.
Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the 16th.
So the high school seniors will have their tables up and the banquet that night and stuff. But if you're graduating from anything, come by to one of the services, and when we call the graduates up,
we'll recognize you.
So
and that banquet starts at 5:30, right?
5:30,
and
that's food and getting to say goodbye to them, or they don't really go anywhere yet.
Yeah.
Just getting to say how much we appreciate them, and we don't have a super huge class this year, but it just that class has always been a little bit smaller. It's kind of the ebbs and flows of.
Oh, I remember
classes as you see.
My senior class had 5 people in it, maybe.
Yeah, that's one of the smaller ones, and we've had them that were like 35, and they've been pretty consistent within the 20s the last few years. But small class this year. Now next year's class is big though. It's one of those big classes.
Is it another big class?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's real big.
Like when I was coming up, the class above me and the class below me were both really big classes, and mine was like nobody.
It's really interesting, just watching those curves and
how that works.
I mean, if you look up and down the spectrum through children, and you can just I wonder what happened that year. So kind of interesting.
Well, we also have I've got our connection lineup for the next couple of weeks.
Oh,
speaking of seniors.
Oh, I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, this coming Wednesday, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, we've got 2 of our seniors, Katie Sanford and Zach Henson, are going to both be speaking on Wednesday night.
All right, good.
And then the week after, which would be the 12th.
Is that when Kate McCommon is?
Yeah, that'll be Kate McCommon and Jasmine Cintron. So
okay, all right.
Yeah, and then the week after that, not exactly a senior in high school, but Terry Thrasher is going to be speaking on May 19th.
Oh, really?
She has never spoken before. So, she's spoken, but not like in a service. She's never done the talk before, so this will be a good opportunity to come hear what she has to say. All the things she's been holding in for the last 20 years, she finally gets to let them out. So,
well, let me tell you something. If you're within the sound of our voice right now, make your way here on May 19th and listen to Miss Terry, because I guarantee you're going to hear some really good stuff.
Yeah.
She's a smart lady and has a lot to say whenever, she's not real loud and crazy and just listen to me, so, but when she speaks, it's worth listening to. So,
yeah. So
I always have a soft spot in my heart for preachers' wives. and coaches' wives. Those two I've always had a soft spot there for them.
They've got a special place in heaven.
No one knows. They have no idea. They really don't. They have no clue.
But yeah, we've got some good connection services coming up the next few weeks.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Those are good ones.
Make sure you come out on Wednesdays at 6:00 and check that out.
Yeah, and we're not eating yet for connection service, but
not quite. But
hopefully, I would probably guess by the time we go back to fall in the school year and stuff like that. Probably, hopefully that will be able to happen. Man, that's good. Well, yeah, that's great stuff. Good to know that. We've had a great response to Keep My Hood Good.
Great response, yeah.
Man, we've got stuff piled all over the place here.
I was like, that's just wrapped up, but man, that's...
yeah. What an awesome response. I know that Miss Juanita's going to be excited for Keep My Hood Good, and so that's good. Also coming soon, let's see, a couple more weeks, we'll have Miss Noreen.
Yep.
And we are looking for your questions, things of depression, mental health. We're going to be talking a lot about this, like coming out of COVID. Maybe if you just experienced, some down days and just some blue moments or just things, and how we can just take good care of our mental health.
Yeah. From
a good spiritual standpoint. I mean, she is just so great. So if you have any kind of questions in that arena or world, definitely get them to us on our email or Instagram or something, and or just hunt us down, and because we're collecting questions for her, and
throw a rock at us or whatever you need to do to get our attention. So
we would love for your question to be addressed, and maybe it will be, but the only way we know for sure is if you'll ask it. But looking forward to having her come on the podcast, and
definitely,
and help us there, and I'm hoping we can see many, many bright sunny days during the summer, and as we just seems like everything's starting to open back up, and I'm just hoping and praying that continues.
Yeah, kind of lift our spirits.
Yeah.
Seasonal affective disorder is a real thing. Seasonal effectiveness disorder?
Sad.
Yeah, whatever that is. It's a real thing.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. So hopefully now that the sun's coming back out.
Yeah, I mean, it has affected me. And to be honest, Ms. Noreen's someone who really helped me kind of deal with that. Yeah. Moving up here from the deeps of Texas to the
gloomy Jackson, Tennessee.
Well, it was just funny things like just the size of the trees.
Oh yeah.
And how quickly the sun goes down, and because of the size of the trees, really. That's true. And Texas has a lot of times the trees aren't very tall, and then you can see the sun all the way to the horizon.
Yeah.
And so you even have that kind of thing. So you don't have, so she helped me work through some of that just when I first got up here, and even a few years ago. So it's a real thing.
Yeah. A couple other things to be aware of. We're still handing out the hymnals.
Yeah.
So if you need to come get a hymnal, come get a hymnal. We've still got some.
Yeah. And I mean, they're United Methodist hymnals that we've had for years and years and years, and will not be using in the future. So, but great songs. I mean, and just great liturgy. There's some neat stuff in the hymnal, and maybe, goodness, we used to play games in the hymnal when I was a kid. I mean, there were so many different things, but just some of the good stuff, just some good cornerstones of faith, and that's a good collection.
It is. Sure.
So definitely grab you hymnal. I don't think you'll be upset if you do that.
No.
And we got plenty. You can grab 2, 7, however you want.
Yeah. So take them till they're gone.
Yeah.
We can't use them. So
exactly.
And also, did you say something about Highland being closed?
Man, we are so close. But yes, Highland's going to be closed this coming weekend, y'all, if the weather permits. And it's going to be closed, I think, Friday evening through Sunday.
That would be the 7th through the 9th. Is
Mhm.
that? Yeah.
Yeah. And so they're going to be finishing up some of the construction on Highland there at the 82 bridge. And so it's going to be closed down from carriage house to van. So we have to find a new way to church.
Oh, no,
I did do that a couple of times. But that wasn't nowhere near as bad as we thought it was going to be.
No, not at all.
And here we are. We're pretty much done. And
Which, hey, to be honest, it's looking nice. Like,
it looks great.
It looks great.
And right in on this too. Are you having trouble figuring out all the lines and things, or because we are up and down through there a lot, and we tell stories here at the church staff to each other. Guess what I just saw underneath the bridge? And
oh gosh,
it's been interesting. It's a little different, but it's not that hard.
No.
I mean, if you passed coloring in preschool,
You should be able to figure it out.
yeah. If you're driving, you should be able to do this.
Basically, keep your car between the white lines.
Yeah.
Don't cross the yellow line.
Yeah.
Done.
And just follow the dotted lines in the middle that are for you. Yeah, it's not that hard, but man, some people really have made it hard.
Yeah, they're struggling.
Yeah. So, and it is a little, the first time you go and you're like, oh wait, I'm going, and that car's coming in, and are we going to hit it? No, you're not. But it does, because it kind of gives that European feel.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of passing on the wrong side a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
So it kind of feels funny. So, because you're not supposed to be going at the same time. So, yeah. So, and is it Nicole Lawrence, I think, is the TDOT public affairs person here in Jackson for our district. And I know I follow her on Twitter, and we've actually had many conversations with her before and during this construction phase. She's been great to reach out to the church and let us know about things. But follow her on Twitter, and she has other social media, but very, very active on that, and has helped us kind of know when to look for things. But yeah, so Sunday, another thing is a lot of times they get done quicker than they think they will. So
yeah,
it might be open, but do plan ahead, because maybe check the interwebs before. What is it? The SmartWays app.
Yeah.
If you have that, it'll tell you if it's closed or open. Always a good thing to do.
Well, Glenn, we've been interviewing all the staff members, but we haven't interviewed you yet.
Oh,
so
bring it on.
You are the student ministries director here at the church. How'd you get into student ministry?
That's a good question. Well, coming out of high school, I'm a preacher's kid, and coming out of high school, you begin to have those feelings a little bit of, do I want to play with this or not? And do I want to follow in the family business? Because my dad and his brother both were United Methodist ministers in the North Texas Conference. They're both retired or semi-retired now. And so, do I want to do that? Do I feel called? I didn't really feel called to be a senior pastor in any form or fashion. I got hurt playing football, and our group that we were in were helping do FCA talks at high schools and middle schools, and just, at wherever we were. And I kind of got in doing that, and I thought, this is kind of cool. This is interesting. And then my dad got in touch with me and said, hey, church contacted me and was wondering if you might be interested in helping with the youth. And so I did that. And then the next one, would you be interested in coming over here and help do camp and go to camp? All right, yeah. So I just kept saying yes. And, one church, that first church, I was only going to be there for 6 months. And so I thought, well, I can do this I can do youth ministry for 6 months, because I'd kind of been more of a sports medicine guy. I kind of was looking more at going to the medical route and doing that, and had other plans. I had just, like everybody at that age, just life by the tail. Well, that was 32, 33 years ago, and I'm still doing it. So, so I just kept following God in that. And so that's how I kind of got into youth ministry. And we'd always been in Texas until 2000, and we moved up here. And I was leaving a church there and was starting to do more stuff on the national stage. It really thought I was going to be a writer and speaker and do that part of the game, because that just was the natural trend for youth ministers at that time. And then, 9/11 happened, and I kind of played with my life because I was in the Naval Reserve. So I came to help Don and y'all here when Chad was still here. Yeah. To help Chad, and I was serving with college and helping him, kind of like what Cameron does with me.
Yeah.
And then he left not long after I was doing that. And then Don said, would you mind being the interim for a little bit? And because I kind of knew I'd been doing that for many, many years at that point even.
And we're still looking for
we're still looking. I'm still
interim.
I was only interim for a few months. And I said, well, if this works, then we can talk about further. Because that time I really wasn't sure if I wanted to be back in a local church.
Yeah.
When you're a little bit younger, it feels like a step back in some ways. But let me tell you something. If you want to be in ministry, just be in the local church. Don't worry about trying to be on any greater stage. There is no better stage than being in the local church. So, so that's how it is. And
that's cool.
I've loved it all, and I enjoy doing student ministry. I still do. Yeah, as I've gotten older, still enjoy it.
I was in the youth group when you showed up, so I experienced some of that firsthand.
Yeah. It's fun. I've gotten to do a lot of crazy stuff because of student ministry.
Yeah.
So as a lot of other people. I mean,
keeps you young at heart, I'm sure.
It does. And I have so many varied interests.
Yeah.
And you run across so many different people, and that kind of helped pique all of my interests at different points in times through.
What's been your favorite thing about student ministry?
Oh, my favorite thing about student ministry.
Or do you have a favorite story?
Oh goodness, the stories could go on and on and on. My favorite thing, is just the relationships and stuff that you build, and just getting to walk with families through things and students, and just you have relationships with them even to this day. And what's really fun now is to watch them raise their families and see that kind of stuff, and see them have little ones, and then you're just like, because you're getting what you deserve. So. But no, there's so many of it, and so much of it is awesome. But the stories, oh my goodness, there's so many great ones. And probably one of my favorite stories I don't tell much anymore is we were at church camp one year, and we were this game called Romans and Christians, and this kid was a Roman, and he kept catching all the Christians, and as directors, we were like, you need to settle down. So we caught him and put him in a special place, and let the Christians kind of get caught by more normal Romans and not, but we're sitting there having him after we caught him and just having conversations with him and stuff, and just crazy stuff like that. It just is out of the middle of nowhere, you're up in the middle of the night in a camp out or a lock-in, and you're just in the middle of a daze, and you're just looking off into space anywhere. And it's just all really, really interesting. That's the thing, is it's not all boring.
Yeah. I'm sure no class is the same as the one before,
Never.
So
it changes every year.
Always something new.
Yeah, the graduates, you talking about the change of it can change. A graduating class can change the whole feel of a youth program. And we're an incoming confirmation class. The things I look forward to now is like when people bring friends.
Yeah.
And they're willing to put themselves out there to invite them to church, because our faith and sharing our faith is such a interesting thing right now.
Yeah.
That's
cool. That's cool to see.
Yeah, it is, because I don't think people believe when I say things like this, but you get 30, 40, 50 kids coming to church. I mean, people saying, we don't ever see miracles. Y'all. Yeah, you do. You stop and think about what can capture the human heart and what can capture the human mind. And you get students that are wanting to come to church or willing to. And even if they come kind of begrudgingly because their parents like, you're going to church, that's still a pretty big deal, because they're willing to fold to their parents and obey them and follow them. But there's still plenty of miracles on the daily planet. So
for sure,
the hard parts have gotten to be where you see just kids make mistakes, and the world, I guess the whole cancel culture type thing, and and even if a kid don't even really have to make a mistake, and just if they're just not in a certain deal, instead of people kind of stay in their cliques or groups like they used to.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to mess with everybody else's now. And that's hard to watch people go through that.
Yeah.
And, being canceled out or whatever is tough to watch a kid do.
Yeah.
So.
And I imagine that with social media and the internet and everything, they feel like any mistakes they make are permanent.
Exactly.
And they can't escape them. See, if I had all that when I was a kid, man.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. I'm glad there's no documentation on some of the stupid stuff I did. So
exactly. So that's hard, but hopefully we'll get a handhold on that. And that's fairly new to even the social media a little bit. So
yeah, for sure.
Hopefully we'll figure that doesn't need to exist. So, But yeah, it's an interesting world. It does get tough sometimes, and but someone said once, if you're in youth ministry and you don't want to quit at least once a week, you're doing it wrong. So there you go. That's, it's not always the easiest thing, but big chunk of the time it is.
Yeah.
Really rewarding.
Well, and you've also been making all of the other staff members answer your 3 for 30. So I'm going to give you a taste of your own medicine.
That'd be good.
Are you ready for this? 3 for 30.
All right.
All right. What's your favorite Bible verse?
1 Corinthians 10:31.
What is that one?
Whether you eat, drink, whatever you do it to the name of Christ, do it in the glory of Christ.
Oh, yeah. What's your favorite book of the Bible?
Book of the Bible. I would have answered this very differently, but prior to just a little bit ago. But I'm going to tell you 1st and 2nd Peter right now.
Yeah.
Man, should have paid a lot more attention to those early on. Those are good books.
And what's your favorite Bible story?
Bible story? It's hard not to do David and Goliath because I grew up kind of a small guy. I wasn't very tall and stuff. And so that's always a good one. But I have to go with Balaam's donkey. I mean, goodness, y'all. Stinking donkey talking.
Yeah, that doesn't happen every day.
And I just love quirky things like that in the Bible because that would interest me now. And so I just love the quirks of the Bible and stuff. And
also a big fan of Shrek.
Shrek, yeah. Yeah, and poor old donkey. Poor old Eddie Murphy and Shrek. But no, Balaam's donkey would be a good one, but David and Goliath would be a second one. Or any Peter walking on the water.
Yeah, that's
being a fisherman. Oh my goodness, could you imagine that? That would be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
There's some of them. Yeah, Jonah and the whale. That's not my. Who would want to be in a whale for?
Yeah, just ask Pinocchio.
Yeah, there's some interesting stories in the Bible, though. I would love to have been at the Transfiguration.
Oh,
my goodness.
I can't even imagine that.
That would be amazing. And again, we've been talking a little bit about the chosen, just to walk with the disciples and Jesus, just to be a fly on a donkey.
Yeah.
Watching them
just to have been able to see
just sitting on the donkey watching them like, ooh. Oh goodness, the birth of Jesus.
Oh gosh.
Could you imagine when those shepherds came up there and they knew? Angels had just talked to you. Now you're seeing this baby. I think just the marvel of it all is pretty incredible. And, there's just the mysteries of some of the stuff too.
I like that there are still mysteries in the world that we haven't 100% figured out yet.
Yeah. Yeah. You're about to be married. You're about to learn about all kinds of mysteries.
Learning more than I want to know.
No.
Ignorance really is bliss. No.
Mysteries. So how is it in the world of prepping for a wedding right now?
Stressful.
Yeah.
Stressful. Yeah.
So y'all are
less than 2 months out.
Yeah. So what stage are y'all at now? You've got everything's ordered and done, invitations sent out?
Oh yeah. All the invitations are sent. We're collecting RSVPs, just all the little detail work. She's been putting together all the centerpieces herself for the reception.
Okay.
So
right.
yeah, she's working on a lot of the decorations herself.
Oh, cool.
We're trying to be somewhat frugal about things.
Well, it can be extremely expensive. Even when you do a lot of it yourself, it's so crazy what it costs to get married.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean, it's just so.
And I'm broke, so.
Yeah, well, that's just. I mean, I wasn't even going to ask that question. Just knew that was just just a given. Yeah. So getting ready for the old wedding is an adventure.
It is.
And you get like families getting all that worked out for family coming in, and
we're trying to. So
because you both have some family that will be coming from.
Oh yeah,
from
we've got
town,
people from all over the place.
Yeah.
Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, Virginia. And we got people coming from Texas. We got all over the place. So
yeah,
it'll be fun.
Well, that's
haven't
good.
seen a lot of these people in a long time. So
well, that'd be good. It's a fun time. It really is. It is a little bit stressful, but when you get to the day of it, you just got to let all that go.
Yeah, because I mean, by that point, we will have gotten done what we got done.
Exactly. Just let it all go. Just enjoy it. Just relax and enjoy it, and it'll be fun. Yeah. And Kevin's actually going to be out for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, he's having surgery next week. So he'll be out.
So we'll be praying for him. It's nothing super horrible or major, but just something he needs to get taken care of. And so, we'll be praying for him. And we have a guest coming in. I think your brother Cameron is going to come.
Yeah, we're going to do a Donkey Talk crossover podcast.
He helps me, and he's also serves on the
the 9 at Northside.
9 at Northside to worship. It's a 9 o'clock service.
Yeah,
he is one of the singers up there and plays guitar. Leaders, you see him all the time. And so
he's also going to help fill us in on Bitcoin.
Yes, we had a conversation with him yesterday, and I told you, I thought it was him who was filling me in, and I've had some other conversations. I think you've done a little research.
I've done some research.
I feel better about having this conversation soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold my all the knowledge that I've gained until next week. So,
and I wonder what Jesus would say about Bitcoin and just all kinds of things. We just give to Caesar what is Caesar's, and I can't give it. I don't have any physical ability to give it. So,
well, it also doesn't belong to Caesar.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. It's a decentralized system. So
yeah, be looking for that. You might learn something. I don't know. We all might learn something because Cameron seemed to really know.
Well, he tries to do that.
Yeah.
Even when he doesn't know, he tries to sound like he does.
So you can listen, and if he doesn't know, it will sound good.
He knows more than I do. So.
He does. He really knows quite a bit about that stuff. So he'll be in, and we'll have Miss Noreen in, and so
got a lot of good stuff coming up.
We do, and then this is like episode 19, right?
Yep.
Wow.
Episode 19.
We're about to have 20.
Yeah. We've been doing this for 19 weeks.
That's pretty cool, y'all.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're just now about ready to launch this thing.
Yeah. We're kind of getting some of the kinks worked out. We're kind of hitting our stride a little bit better. So
yeah, I feel like we're just now getting ready to do this right.
Yeah.
At least that's the way I feel. I don't know.
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah. Well, believe me, when we started Donkey Talk with the youth, we did have to practice.
Yeah.
We did. And I'm glad we did. That was actually really helpful.
Beneficial,
to have done that. And so actually, I think you helped us with one practice, and
I don't know how much I helped, but
no,
I was there.
I think at that time they were still getting used to hearing their voices and working out their rhythms and stuff like that. They've done well, and so Donkey Talk is the podcast done by the student ministry, and it is actually the first podcast from Northside, but this one was right on its heels, and so now they're running side by side, and so Donkey Talk doesn't go out as often as Northside Now does because getting them all scheduled to record is sometimes a challenge. But yeah, they do good stuff, and it's just interesting to listen to our teenagers, and that's
it really is. Hear some of their opinions and what they're dealing with and how they're experiencing life compared to the way we did.
And just we got some great guys and gals, and just if they and the fun thing is they're not all alike or anything. They definitely see some things, and sometimes they say stuff. It just makes me kind of raise my eyebrows, like, really? So Donkey Talk is, and it's on all of the same spots you can find this one.
Yep.
And so hopefully
So if you haven't listened to it, go check it out.
Yeah, listen to Donkey Talk.
Well, Glenn, thanks for podcasting with me.
Yeah, it was fun. We missed Kevin because I don't know what's going on above my head in space now.
Yeah, I don't either.
And I think it's reason he likes the spaceman. He's just much taller than we are.
Yeah, well, he lives up there most of the time. So. Well, it was kind of nice though, because this podcast was kind of our brainchild, and so it was just getting to just be the two of us again. It was kind of nice. Yeah,
we used to work out together a lot, and as we'd work out, we thought, man, what a great just to be able to talk about. We have so many other podcast ideas.
Yeah,
my goodness. I mean, we could sit in here for days on end recording things and just talking about stuff. But yeah, it was important for us to make sure that we were in the spaces you're in, and that the church was represented in your spaces.
Yeah, and especially while people were still quarantined and not being able to connect as well, we thought this would be a good way to have a little bit longer form of a discussion about things. So.
And touch base with what's going on in and around the church, not just here on campus, but in other areas of it. And, running once a week, it's hard to get to everything quick enough, and we're getting there. And, hopefully in the future, we'll be able to get like sermon series and have our pastors come and talk about them a little bit, and some more of the outreach type things, and, just different ministries that we've done. We've done several of them now.
And there's no end in sight.
There is. I mean, we do so much here at the church and what's a part of Northside.
And especially now that things are picking back up.
Yeah. So it's going to be pretty wild and crazy.
More important than ever to subscribe.
Yeah. Oh, and let me, I was visiting with our scout leaders the other day, and if you have especially an elementary age child, kindergarten through 4th grade or so, and you're interested in scouting, we have scouting here at Northside, and you don't have to wait till school starts to go ahead and sign up. You get in touch with us and I can put you in touch with the leaders, and you can go ahead and get started. And they're going to do some camping and stuff like that this summer. And so if you want a good organization for your boys or girls, it doesn't matter. And get you hooked up into our scouting ministry here at the church. And I think you'll enjoy that as a family, because Cubs do family. It's family camping, family scouting. So
yeah,
pretty cool stuff.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Well, and thanks to all of you for joining us this week on Northside Now. Make sure to visit our website, northsidejackson.com, and check us out on Instagram @NorthsideJackson, and shoot us an email to podcast@northsidejackson.com. We'd love to hear from you. Also, make sure you never miss a show by clicking the subscribe button. And while you're at it, if you find this show to be informative or entertaining, consider rating us on whatever platform you're listening to us on. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out greatly as well. So once again, this is Patrick.
And this is Glenn.
And that's what's happening at Northside Now.